You are looking live at the WBC.
This bout is scheduled for 12.
Not too many seats to be. Joe Joyce always swinging for the fences. The bravery being shown here is just incredible. And he scores with the counter. So much for boxing. This is a fist fight. This fighter embodies the cardinal rule of boxing. Hit and don't get hit.
Do not give an outside fighter time to think. You've got to make the fighter panic. You've got to rush the fighter into doing things they don't normally do.
You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. We're at the halfway point of this round, and both of these fighters have had their moments. Still could go either way.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Nice slip to avoid the jab. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Well done with that counter shot. That time counter shot. That jab doesn't score. When are we going to see a jab from these two? Punch, counter punch. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Ali in that last round. From this moment forward, on to the second round. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
That counter shot lands. Fighter told us yesterday, if he doesn't win by knockout, he doesn't consider it a real victory. That's the mentality he has.
If you get in with a slugger, they want to work at their own pace. Use speed, frustrate them, take them out of their comfort zone, make them tired, trip over their own feet, get them angry.
That hook just can't find the target. You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. This fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people thought.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them more than happy.
Catch and shoot. That counter shot lands. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. That counter shot lands. Couldn't land that jab. This fight has a real good flow to it. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. And he scores with the counter. Talk about Ali in that last round. Well, we're entering. And there's the bell for round 3. Not the start that they wanted, but let's see what they can do in this round.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him. Tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. When you're fighting a massive heavyweight like this, you can't go toe-to-toe. You got to stick and move and use angles.
When you're fighting somebody so big, this is when you've got to stick to your game plan. You deviate, you're out of there.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Do you believe what we're seeing? This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
Very close match. It shows the skill, the discipline, the respect both fighters have for each other because no one dare do anything out of turn.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. Throws the jab, but it doesn't score. Blocks that jab. Tried to score with a jab. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Ali in that last round. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see how... Go in round 4. Who's going to land the first big shot? After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Punch and just got countered. How about that time counter shot? Nice slip to avoid the jab. Swing and a miss with the jab. He threw a punch and just got countered. Those counter punches have to hurt. A real good back and forth between these two fighters.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Nope, that jab not going to score. You've seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's what it all boils down to. Who's going to have more endurance?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
Catch and shoot. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Ali in that last round. As bad as boxing judging can be sometimes, there's no doubt who won that round.
I seriously...
On to the 5th we go. Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Defense here at all. You'd like to see more jabs. And he scores with the counter. You can't throw out a lazy jab in this fight. You're gonna get knocked out. They call it the chin. How strong is your chin? Do you have a glass chin? These are things that can affect the fight.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those pointed areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim them, go for speed.
Back and forth they go in this round. The momentum continues to shift. Oh, Johnny, out of nowhere, look at this. If there's anyone that can get out of trouble, it's Muhammad Ali. We almost saw a knockout a second ago, and now they're going toe-to-toe.
Bean Days now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Ali in that last round. Talk about a one-sided. This is the beginning of round 6. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Throws the jab and doesn't score. Nice counter shot. One punch could change everything in this battle. One moment changes everything, especially in this division. He threw a punch and just got countered. That counter shot lands. A perfect counter lands. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Counter shot lands. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Ali in that last round. That was almost a 10. There's the bell to start round 7. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
You can tell one of these fighters is starting to fade. What does he need to do to get back in this contest?
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Which one of these athletes is going to say, I can't take it anymore? They figure out the combination to this safe.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
One punch could change anything when these two step in the ring. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Nice counter shot. Nice job by him to block that jab. Misses with the jab. Nice counter shot. Talk about Ali in that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who. Round 8, and we're off again. Last round, complete domination. Let's see what we have in store for us here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've done in the ring with fights like that and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out of there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
I want to think of holding on here for a minute. Straight right just misses. What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Both looking for the knockouts here, and that's what we expect from heavyweights.
So you're getting in there with something that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get in close.
That jab gets blocked. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. In that last round. They've got the momentum. And there's the bell to start round 9. Well, Johnny, can he keep the momentum going after that last huge round for him?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Nice counter punch right up the middle.
Settle the score. Look around you. We got a whole room full of monsters. We gonna shut it down like this.
They are not gonna let this one go to the judges. In the build-up to this fight, Johnny, this power puncher told us, listen, I don't care if it's round 1 or round 12, I've got enough power and confidence to end this in one shot.
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've got to think him. You've just got to be smarter than him. You've got to be like a little Fagin and pickpocket him.
Good counter punch. Beautiful counter shot. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. We've heard the old phrase, this might come down to who wants it more. And here comes the 10th round. How much is left in their tank after last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. One punch changes everything in this division. It's the heavyweights.
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you hit and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
I can't believe we're only halfway through the round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. He caught him big time. But just when you think Joe Joyce is out of it, he comes firing right back.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
Whoa, Johnny, out of nowhere. Look at this. Joe Joyce is in trouble. The greatest has been dazed. Muhammad Ali in trouble. We'll see how much endurance these two fighters have. This is the 11th we've entered the championship rounds. They really seemed to exhaust themselves last round. Let's see what they have left.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. The only fear you have with this fighter is has he punched himself out? Beautiful counter shot. No rest for the weary. How about that time counter shot? They hit like heavyweights, but they... Oh, wait a minute! Who would have thought Ali would get rattled like this? Big shot! Goes Ali! How about that technique on that headshot? Let's see it again and appreciate it more.
I've got...
1, 2, 3, 4. Give me your glove.
They're on their feet, but is this the beginning of the end?
Somebody can smell blood here. They can smell blood. They've got to be smart. Get in there. Then boom, back in the same.
So we enter the final 10 seconds here in a pretty dominant display. Let's talk about Ali in that last round. That'll be it. Who thought we would have made it to 12? His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's going to do after being knocked down in the last round?
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very, very surprised if he'll come out fresh as a daisy. That's not going to happen. He's got to hustle now. He's got to bluff him.
There's a counter shot. The only fear you have with this heavyweight is has he punched himself out? which one of these athletes is going to be the first to get rocked. Generally speaking, you don't watch heavyweights to see a boxing match. Did you see that? A huge opportunity. Oh, down goes Joe Joyce. Thank goodness we've got instant replay. We get to see it again.
Where did that come from? What a shot.
Can't believe they managed to beat the count, but that could be the last hurrah.
God, he's up. I'll be surprised if he makes it back to the corner. And if he does, will he get back up on the stool again? That was a shot.
Beautiful counter punch. It's all offense all the time. And so far, the offense has been better than the defense. Final 10 seconds here, and the corner is going to have their work cut out for them. Some might have thought the fight a little bit closer, but the judges are in agreement. A unanimous decision win.
This is the last thing we expected. What a fight. What a style. What a pace. To get a unanimous decision. That is mad. I didn't see that coming. I thought this would be tight. This is nowhere near tight.